There are a lot of options in the mobile service space right now, and knowing which one is the best for you isn't the easiest thing to do. You might spend countless hours looking through different sites and reading plans, but it gets confusing at a certain point. I know this because I've spent months testing and trying most of the well-known mobile service brands in the country and comparing them to one another to find the best possible options. And the one that really grabbed my attention was Tello Mobile. I spent a month researching and actually using Tello, considering what they were offering and how they performed, and made the decision to write this review in order to provide you with a better understanding of how they operate, how much they charge, what makes them stand out from the competition, and what can pose a problem for you if you use their service. Although I've had a generally positive experience so far, I'll go into great length in my review so that you, if you're considering joining up, will hopefully have a better understanding of what makes them, in my opinion, a wonderful mobile service provider and know what to anticipate from them. In addition, if you utilize the link in the description to try Tello out, you'll get a little discount that isn't on their website if you visit it directly. So to start, let's get down to who Tello is and what they do. So they've been around for 20 years now, which means they're obviously doing something right. Their goal was to lower the cost and simplify international calling for all parties. So far, it appears that they fulfilled that objective for hundreds of thousands of clients, both domestically in the United States and internationally. Additionally, since they're dependent on T-Mobile's network, you're effectively using its coverage. They also provide a number of monthly plans that you may subscribe to, but they're also well known for providing a respectable selection of prepaid plans. They also offer cell phones, which are reasonably priced based on what I could see, but how does this all work? Well, Tello is all about prepaid plans, and what's cool is that you can tweak your plan every month, such as add more stuff if you need to, which makes it pretty flexible. One neat thing with Tello's prepaid deal is that whatever minutes or data you get, they're good for up to 3 months after you buy it. Pretty helpful if you're not a big phone user. You could also end up saving some cash, especially if you don't use a ton of data or make a lot of international calls. Also with Tello, when you're on their prepaid plan, international calls just use your regular minutes, so a minute chatting with someone in another country costs the same as a local call. That's a pretty big deal considering how pricey international calls can get with other providers like Mint Mobile or the big name companies. Tello lets you call over 60 countries, which is way more than Mint's offer of just Canada and Mexico. Moreover, with Tello subscription plans, they're actually a pretty sweet deal if you think about the quality of service. But of course, it all boils down to what you need. Tello's got 5 different plans, and each one comes with unlimited local and international calls as well as text. Now, the first plan, the economy one, gives you 1 gigabyte of data plus those unlimited calls and text. That's just $9 a month. The value plan steps it up to 2 gigabytes of data, still with unlimited calls and text, and for $10 if you need more, the smart plan offers 5 gigabytes of data and the same unlimited calls and text for $14. And if you're a data junkie, the data plan has unlimited data, calls, and texts, all for $25 a month. Tello's also got this build your own plan option. You get to pick how much data you want each month, starting at $5. Even if you run out of data, no problem. You can top up anytime. From what I've seen, this is one of the cheapest ways to go, especially if you're not a heavy data user but still like to talk a lot. Plus, unlimited calls and texts are still part of the deal, including international calls. So it's definitely worth a look. This plan also has a neat feature for families as well. You can tailor a plan to fit your family's needs, picking how much data each person gets. Just a heads up though, there's no discount for adding multiple users, which would have been a nice touch, but it's still worth considering. Now, about phones, Tello's got new and used ones at pretty reasonable prices. I spotted a used iPhone XR in great shape for just under $300, and they often have sales on their site, so it's a good idea to keep an eye on that. Plus, they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can return a phone if it's not what you expected. A couple more perks from Tello. They include a free Wi-Fi hotspot and a Wi-Fi calling option. This means you can make calls over Wi-Fi, which is handy if your network signal isn't so great, like when you're in the basement or something. One thing to note though, on the unlimited plan, after you use 35 gigabytes, your speed drops to 2G, which can be slow. But to be fair, most folks don't even use that much data anyway. But yeah, Tello's pretty solid with their 4G and 5G coverage most of the time. Didn't really run into any major connectivity issues. I like that they let you switch up your plan whenever you want. Their subscription plans are just straightforward. No hidden fees, no long-term commitments, and no paying up front. You just pay for what you use as you go, which is super transparent and user-friendly. And here's a really good thing about Tello. If you're on their prepaid service and don't use all the data in a month, they'll actually give you a refund for what you didn't use. That can be a real help if you're trying to cut down on monthly expenses. Just keep in mind that the credit has to still be valid. The folks at Tello genuinely care, and this shows it. So finding an affordable mobile service is one one thing, but the real deal is how well it works, right? And I'll admit I was kind of skeptical when I first switched to Tello. Cheaper doesn't always mean better, but honestly, I was pleasantly surprised. In the month I used Tello, not a single phone call or text failed. The only hiccup was after using 35 gigabytes on the data plan and the speed drops to 2G, which is pretty slow. And if you're someone who relies heavily on data and isn't around Wi-Fi much, this might be something to think about. But for me, this wasn't really a big deal. I purposely used my data instead of Wi-Fi to just test it out. Under normal use though, like connecting to Wi-Fi at home or work, I doubt I'd even come close to hitting that 35 gigabyte cap. And the international calls, super clear. I had this hour-long call with my friend in Romania, and there were zero issues with connectivity or any weird background noise, besides his mom yelling at him, but no plan can really stop that, so it was like they were next door, really. However, when I went out to one of those pumpkin patches with my girlfriend that girls love for some reason, I noticed the connection got a bit iffy in the countryside. But to be fair, even the T-Mobile network wasn't great out there either. However, this shouldn't persist because Tello is actually planning to tap into SpaceX's new satellites to boost their global coverage, which really should help with the signal in more remote places. Another thing I really appreciate about Tello is that they don't limit video streaming quality like Mint's Mobile. This means you can watch high-quality videos without annoying lags or buffering. Mint's might have a slightly higher data cap, but you can tell they skimp on the video quality. Personally, I prefer quality over quantity when it comes to streaming. No one wants to sit through those pixelated videos or constant loading. We're far past 2006, right? So, especially when there's an option like Tello that offers smooth streaming at a fair price. I mean, you don't want to compromise on that. And to wrap it all up, Tello's flexibility is pretty impressive. They let you adjust your plan as needed, and they're chill if you decide to cancel or change your contract. They often have discounts, and hey, if you use the link I've dropped down below, you'll get a special discount that's not available directly on their site, so it's definitely worth checking out. And there you have it. That wraps up my review of Tello. I hope you found it useful, and honestly, I'm a big fan of them and would definitely recommend them. They've got a solid coverage and the pricing is pretty reasonable, especially compared to other big names in the US. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Check out Tello using the link below if you're interested in saving some cash, and if you have any questions or comments, just drop them down in the comment section below. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.